Hello and welcome to Little Blue Star. I'm Jane Allen and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Thanks for joining me today. This little card is made with the gorgeous fern embossing folder. I just love it. Really lovely embossing folder. So that's what we've gone for here. And for the sentiment, I've gone for the Biggest Wish stamp set here. So let's get started. So we need a layer of, well, base card of white, which is 10 by 7 and scored at 5, so you get a 5 by 7 card. Then we've got a layer of the gorgeous fresh freesia, say that fast, fresh freesia, and this is 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. And then we've got a layer of basic grey, which is 3 3/4 by 5 3/4 inches. So that's the one that I'm going to run through the embossing folder. So as you can see, I've already done that. But as you can see on this one, well, I hope you can see, I've sort of highlighted the fern, which I've showed you before, but on a previous card. So let's just go over that now. So I've just grabbed my white ink, and then you just literally swipe it across the cardstock, and it just brings out those highlights of the fern. And I would just recommend going various directions, and then you get all those highlights like so. And I just think it makes it sort of pop out, and those highlights are truly shown up to their beauty. So that's all we've done there, and then it's just gluing those together. So that's what I'll do now. So first of all, this fresh freesia layer is going to pop on to our base card like so. And then on top of that, we've got our layer of basic grey, which is the one that we've embossed with the gorgeous fern embossing folder, and just highlighted it with that white craft ink just by swiping it across the top. And that is our base, and then we just got to add our sentiment and things. So for the sentiment, I have got a little piece of card here, which is 1 7/8 by 2 5/8 of an inch. And then I'm going to grab fresh freesia and do the happy. So I've mounted happy on my block. I'll get the fresh freesia ink and then ink that up. So tap tap tap. Remember, just a gentle tap and you just get that very top layer. And then I'm going to line it up sort of halfway towards the top. So in the middle, and then obviously towards the top there. And then press down, and then the birthday is just going to come along the bottom there. So this one is just going to go in with black. So give it a little swipe on the memento because it's a different ink pad, then ink it up, tap in it, and then it's just going to go towards the bottom, just overlapping slightly with the happy like so. There we go, that's cute. And then that is going to go onto here. I will pop those up on dimensionals, so dimensional in all the corners, one in the middle. And then before I peel those off, I just want some ribbon coming out like here. So I've got the what's this one, open weave ribbon in fresh freesia, and as I say, I just want it popping out the side, so just want a little bit there. I'll cut that at an angle, it just looks a bit better. And then the other one is the glittered organdy ribbon, which is this white ribbon which has got that gorgeous glitter in it, and the same sort of amount on there. And then with my ribbon I always use the tear and tape. You can use glue, but sometimes with the more see-through ribbons, or the less thick, the thinner ribbons, you get that glue squishing through, so I tend to use the tear and tape when I use ribbons. So I'm just going to pop that on there. So tear and tape is just double-sided tape, and then you peel the top bit off, and if you haven't got nails you can use the end of a scissors or your pokey tool or your what is this one called, whatever that one, multi-purpose tool, can't remember the name. If you've got that. So I'm just going to lay those down where I want them, just sort of there, because I know when I pop that on it's just going to poke through towards the side. So that's that. I'll go ahead and peel those backing off from my dimensionals, and then I can stick that on where I want it. So I'm having it towards the right hand side, like so. And then just to add a bit more, I've got these little flowers which I have used this stamp from the Nature's Prints, so I've just used this one here. Obviously I've cut round the little flower, so I don't really need the stem, so all I'm looking for is this part here. So when I ink it up, I'm actually going to ink it in Memento. When I ink it up I don't want all of it, so I'm just going to ink up the part that I want, sort of that section there, and then ink that, and I know that's all I want. So when I ink it, it's just gonna be the part that I'm actually going to cut out anyway, so I'm not wasting that stem. And then I've grabbed my blends, which I love, my Stampin' blends. I haven't got fresh freesia, but the good thing is you can work with what you've got. So I've got actual purple posy, so light and dark purple posy is there, and then I've got the Highland Heather as well. So even though I've got the fresh freesia, they still work with the colourway. So you can have, I always use the brush end, so oh, that's dark. I'm going to go in with the light because I tend to do the light first. So I always do the light colour first. Obviously there's different ways to do it, but this is how I do it. I go in with my light and then I add the highlight with my dark. And these stamps are really good because they show you the dark bits, or obviously where the shading is going to go. So you literally just sort of copy where those dark patches are on the flower, and then you'll get some nice shading, just working it out. So that's my purple posy, and then this one is going to be Highland Heather, just to give it a bit of difference. But I like the way that they match sort of the colourways with the fresh freesia, so it's all those tones of purple. So that's my light Highland Heather. Then I'll go in with my dark and do the same. So all these all the dark areas of the stamp I just build up. There we go. And then just in the middle, you can't really see it, but it's worth doing, it's just, I've got my Daffodil Delight, so I'm just going to colour in just the centre of my flower. And even though it's just a tiny bit, it's nice to give it that depth. And then once you've done that, we are just fussy cutting out. So I don't mind fussy cutting, but obviously some people don't, but I quite like it, so I don't mind doing it. There is a die for this flower like that, so if you're doing that then you would just cut the stem off there, but to be honest I don't really mind cutting out, so I'm just going to use my scissors to fussy cut around my flower, and then I will stick these on, I think, with dimensionals, just pop them up, and obviously you can add as many as you want. I've used 2 on my original card, but if you want more you can put more on. And like all of my ideas, these are just my ideas, so take what you want. You can copy it directly, or you can, you know, go for your own card. So it's your cards, your designs, and then just copy that. I've already cut some out here, so stop you waiting for me to cut those out. So I'm going to pop that one up on a dimensional down here, and I might actually have 2, maybe. Yeah, I might go for 2 on this one. So I'm going to pop that one on dimensional just there at the top, and then that one. Now I'm measuring now where I want my dimensional to go, because I want some of it popped up, but some of it's going to go flat onto this sentiment piece here. So just sort of measure which side. I know it's going to go that side, so I'm going to put my dimensional right towards that edge there, and then you can use a little bit of glue just on that bit so it sticks to my sentiment there. So I'm just going to push that. There we go. So my dimensional is there, and then the little bit of glue went straight onto my sentiment piece. Fab. And then just to add a bit of bling, oh, I remembered what it's called now. It's Take Your Pick. Sometimes my mind goes blank and I can't remember. This is Take Your Pick tool. So and then I'm just going to add a few little rhinestones around the edge, just to add a bit more bling, because there's always room for a bit of bling. And there we go. So that's my card for you today. A lovely little happy birthday card, and obviously add as many little flowers as you want. Hope you enjoyed that. Thanks as always for joining me. If you haven't done so, do consider subscribing, because it really does help me. And I will see you again next time. Thank you. Bye.